We're in volume 7. Yay! Volume 7 of the bookstore, the Bible story by Arthur S Maxwell. And we are at uh, the first story and part 1. But I have a nice, beautiful painting right here. It's by Harry Anderson, and it says 1956. I know I hadn't said the dates on them. And like I've been saying, it's not my camera that makes them look blurry. Apparently, I have books that have the odds that are odd. And so it's the book. And this is the first painting. I mean, besides the ones in the intro, that's the first painting. And I'll think about it. Okay? And the caption reads, as Mary looked upon his lovely baby, looked upon this lovely baby in her arms, and pondered the far-reaching prophecy of Simon, she was full of grateful joy in her hope that there, at last, it was Israel's deliverer. That's what it says. Okay, part 1, story 1, the baby everybody wanted. Okay. Did you ever want a baby brother or a baby sister? I had a sister and I had 2 brothers. Okay, let me rewind. Did you ever want a baby brother or a baby sister to come to your home? If so, you know how eagerly you look forward to his coming and how happy you were when he arrived. And you loved him because he was yours, your very own. I don't remember. I barely remember my little brother. I don't remember my brother. I definitely don't remember my sister because I was born in 1 year and 9 months. Okay. Okay. There was a there was one baby boy, however, whom everybody wanted. For hundreds of years, all over the world, fathers and mothers, brothers and sisters hoped that this very special baby would come to their homes. For a long time, nobody knew just where or just when or where he would be born. So parents everywhere kept wondering, will he come to our home? And every little girl hoped that she would grow up to be the mother of this boy. You see, this baby, was part of a promise God made in the Garden of Eden, after Adam and Eve had made their sad mistake. After God had told them that they would leave their they must leave their beautiful home, he said to the serpent who was cursed, and then we flip the page, cursed, caused the serpent that caused all the trouble, that he will put an enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. This meant that someday a child, or grandchild, or great-grandchild of Eve would bruise or crush the head of the wicked serpent and undo all the evil that had been done. Someday a wonderful baby would be born who would break the power of Satan and at reign all that man had regain all that man had lost because of sin. Excuse me, itchy nose. Eve thought that she would be the mother of this baby. When Cain was born, she said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. But Cain was not the one. He turned out to be a murderer and killed his brother Abel. After Abel's death, Eve had another baby boy and called him Seth, meaning the appointed one. But again, she was mistaken. He was not the appointed one. Of course, Eve had baby girls too, and without doubt, she told them about God's promise. So when each girl grew up and married, she hoped that she would be the mother of the wonderful baby who would do all the great glorious things God had spoken of. But all were mistaken. However, they passed on the promise to their little girls, who told it to their little girls, who told it to their little girls, and so on down the years. In this way, the hope of a coming Savior and Deliverer was kept alive for century to century. That Moses knew about the promise is certain. That Moses knew about the problem. No, the promise is certain. He said in to the children of Israel, the Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken. Balaam knew about it too. That's the guy that was supposed to curse Israel. For instead of cursing Israel, as Balak wanted him, he said, there shall come a star out of Jacob, and the scepter shall rise out of a scepter shall rise out of Israel. Scepter's the stick. By this he meant that someone was coming who would be both a light and a king. And the people wondered the more when the promised child would come. The prophet Isaiah was more definite. He wrote, Behold, a virgin shall conceive, and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Again, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. The government shall be upon his shoulders. After this, many who had lost hope, hoped again. Many little mothers, looking down at her precious baby boy, must have asked, could this be the one? Would my baby boy grow to be the great leader whom God had promised to send? Then the prophet Micah revealed the very place where the child was to be born. From home to home, and especially from mother to mother, the news spread like wildfire. But thou, Bethlehem, Ephraim, Ephrath, Ephrath, yeah, Bethlehem, Ephrath, which they're of Ephraim's descent. That which is Joseph's one of Joseph's sons. He had Manasseh and Ephraim. So this is the Ephrath is Ephraim. Okay, Bethlehem, Ephrath, though thou be the littlest among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me, that is to be the ruler of Israel. all eyes turned to Bethlehem. For a little while, every mother and every child in or near the city became important. And then it has a lot of pictures around here, on here. The first one is Genesis 3:15, then Deuteronomy 18:15, Numbers 24:15, Isaiah 7:14, Micah 5:2, and Daniel 9:25. And I'll show you the pictures. I'll do the big set first, the whole double page. That's what it is set up like the Book of Tales. It's something like, oh, I like history. And then you have Eve at the top, Moses, and then Joshua or Moses, and then up here, Mary and Jesus, and then the guys pointing to the star, Jesus here, and then, of course, Daniel being told by the angel. Okay? Or shown. Okay? Then it says, but nothing happened. And as the years rolled by, Micah prophecy was forgotten. The few who remembered it thought he must have been mistaken. Then, after the Jews had been taken away into captivity, and everybody was discouraged, another prophet brought thrilling news about the baby. Daniel claimed that the angel Gabriel had told him the exact time that the great deliverer would appear. Gabriel, he said, had told him that from the going forth of the commandments to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. It was the most definite word yet. From the time that the king of Persia would order the rebuilding of Jerusalem to the coming of the Messiah, the Prince, would be 69 weeks. 7 weeks plus 62. 69 weeks. 7 plus 62. Confusing. Not 69 weeks. That's no time at all, people said. Well, he'll be here in less than 2 years. But others said that the weeks must be prophetic weeks, which each day reckoned is a year. Each day reckoned was a year. So every day was a year, according to what they thought. And they were right. And this meant that the world had to wait for over another 500 years. That is a long, long time, and as the years passed, Daniel's words were forgotten, and the people came to think that the wonderful baby would never come. Then, when many had given up hope, given up hope altogether, something happened. The angel Gabriel came again, this time not to a prophet, but to a girl. He brought great news from heaven. And then has an illustration right here. It says 7 weeks plus weeks 63 score plus 2 weeks equals 59 weeks. equals the Messiah. That's what it has written on there. It has an angel, and then their representation of Daniel, and then, of course, Jesus. The normal thing that most people, when they get a religious thing, pamphlet or something, that's what they have for Jesus. And you got to think, this is a 70-year-old book, so they're going to reuse things over and over again. Okay, well, it's break time. That was the end of part 1, story 1. So we're going to break, and then I'll see you again with the rest of the book, which we got a long way to go. But I'll see you in a little while.